For my free speech presentation, I decided I wanted to figure out how much the average American knew about freedom of speech, and so I went and interviewed a couple of different people, and here are some of the answers I got. I'm wondering what you know about freedom of speech as an American. Do you know what your rights are?
Yes, I do. I'm familiar with the First Amendment.
Do you know if there have been any Supreme Court cases covering different aspects of freedom of speech?
There probably have, but I can't pinpoint it right now.
Do you know what kinds of freedom of speech are protected by the First Amendment?
Freedom to worship, to speak, any legal protest, that sort of thing.
Do you know what freedom of speech is protected under?
It's an amendment to the Constitution, so Third Amendment? I'm not sure.
Okay.
Is it? Which one is it?
It's the First Amendment.
It's the First Amendment. There you go.
Yeah.
What do I know about freedom of speech? We have the right to say what we want.
I don't think I know much.
Okay.
They said I'm not from here, but I don't think I know much.
Freedom of speech, obviously with freedom of speech, as U.S. citizens, Americans, that we should be free to speak and say whatever we believe and know what our rights are.
I can say whatever I feel as long as I'm not endangering anyone else by saying it.
When I hear freedom of speech, I think I'm free to say anything I want without any retaliation from anybody. I'm protected.
Okay.
That's what I think about freedom of speech. The government can't do anything if I feel like saying something that I don't agree with. At least that's what you see on TV when you're in a different country and you're looking at American television. Do you understand me? Because I know my accent. But when we see freedom of speech on TV, that's all we think about. Freedom to say whatever we want, how we want to say it, as long as we don't hurt somebody physically.
Freedom of speech. Okay. Well, I think that most commonly it's referenced when people want to act wild or say obscene things, and then they try to use it under a guideline as I have the freedom of speech. The freedom of speech is you have the right to speak for yourself as long as it doesn't, I want to say trample on anyone else's right, but that's not the right wording. As long as it doesn't infringe on anyone else's rights.
Yeah.
But I think that it's come under such debate because people are trying to take it to whatever extent and then trying to categorize it under the freedom of speech. And so as far or the extent of it, I don't know, I think that's varying. But as far as our basic right, I think that our country does a good job of upholding our basic right to freedom of speech.
Alright, do you know what kinds of speech that would include?
Everything.
Political, religious beliefs, social beliefs.
Because I know what suffrage doesn't fall under freedom of speech. Human rights doesn't fall under freedom of speech. So you know what? I don't think that I can really think of any Supreme Court cases that is what under, but that's just me being uninformed.
Okay. I was pleasantly surprised with how much some of the people knew about freedom of speech. So that is what a few of average Americans know about freedom of speech, and I hope you enjoyed my presentation.